Look, here's the brutal truth nobody wants to say out loud. If you're trying to lead, trying to build authority, but you're not grounded in ethical influence, you're building on quicksand. You feel it, don't you? That gnawing frustration when people don't follow you genuinely, when you're forced to push harder instead of pulling them in. That creeping anger when power slips through your fingers because your impact is shallow, transactional, fake. You see folks around you rise because they played dirty, because they manipulated, twisted truths, or cut corners, and it drives you crazy because deep down, you don't want to be like that. But here's the kicker. You're stuck because you don't realize that lasting authority isn't about playing their game better. It's about flipping the whole thing on its head through ethical influence. Forget influence as mere manipulation. Forget influence as tricks and empty promises. Real lasting authority demands one thing: being clear, consistent, and damn real with people while making the kind of impact that makes them choose you every time. That means no shortcuts, no smoke and mirrors. It means fronting up with values that hold weight and owning the impact you have on others, not to control them, but to empower them. If you want to lead people who stick with you through chaos, uncertainty, and failure, you have to build trust that isn't just surface level, but rooted deep in respect and integrity. Here's where most founders and leaders slip. They confuse showing strength with forcing control. They believe authority comes from being the loudest or the toughest, but that's fake power. True authority comes from the way you make others feel about themselves when they're around you. Do they feel respected? Do they see you acting with integrity when nobody's watching? Do they feel safe enough to bring their real selves and be bold? If the answer isn't yes, you don't have authority. You have dominance that can crumble overnight. The moment your power feels like coercion, you lose the loyalty that matters. So what do you do right now? The first brutal step is this. Start holding yourself accountable to a higher standard than anyone else ever will. Look at your influence and ask, is this ethical? Am I building something real? Or just gaming approval for a moment? This isn't soft talk, it's tough as hell. Because being ethical influence means sometimes you won't get the easy wins. Sometimes you have to say no when everyone else says yes, even if it means losing short-term gains. Sometimes you have to expose your flaws instead of hiding them. But that's the point. You become someone people can trust because no one else is willing to do that. Next, learn to listen so damn well that people know you're not just waiting to talk, but that you actually hear them, their struggles, fears, ambitions. Too many leaders miss this. They talk at people, not to them. If you don't practice brutal honesty in listening and responding, you'll never build that ethical influence that lasts. People will smell when you fake empathy or when your care is performative. Become an expert at reading what's not said, at connecting the dots between words and emotions. This gives you authority no manipulation ever will. Then, hold everyone around you to that same ethical standard. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, who call out bullshit immediately, who don't settle for shortcuts. If you think you can lead with ethical influence without a team that lives by these rules, you're fooling yourself. This culture of integrity has to be non-negotiable, and it starts with you demanding it ruthlessly. No exceptions. Finally, ditch the obsession with control. Ethical influence means giving people the freedom to choose you, not forcing them. You lead by making others want to follow because you make them better, not because you make them afraid or indebted. This doesn't mean you lose power. It means you create a power that grows exponentially because it's built on trust, on respect, on shared values. If you want something that lasts, something real, you don't need more manipulation. You need more ethical influence. It's the only way to build authority that doesn't vanish the moment the pressure hits. It's the only way to lead people who stick with you no matter what. So right now, stop chasing power through shortcuts. Start chasing real authority through radical honesty, accountability, empathy, and relentless integrity. Nothing else will hold up. Nothing else matters. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit the featured link to discover more.